board. And I didn't really want to do, I can do if you guys want, but I didn't really plan on doing like PowerPoint presentation and making this a formal presentation. Although if you would like to see something, I have, you know, PowerPoint presentation, or I could show you whatever you want as far as compensation or anything like that goes. But I was just going to have like, you know, I will start by sharing my story and giving you a little information. And then I'm going to have Michelle, one of our leaders, also tell you her story, you know, completely different than mine, and a little bit more about coaching. And then Samara will wrap up. So does it sound good? Okay. So I figured we'll just keep it low key, and feel free to stop me, ask questions, or stop whoever and ask questions. This is just informal, you know, just to give you guys more information about Beachbody coaching. And, you know, I know you guys may be familiar with other similar companies, but we'll tell you about how ours is different and what we do and how we, you know, how we do things at Beachbody, which is a little different than everybody else. So I started Beachbody about 9 years ago. And I started with P90X, and I started to get in just because I wanted to lose weight, because the doctor had put me on high blood pressure medication, and he said I needed to lose weight, and I had high cholesterol and high sugar and everything else. So I just started with P90X, which was really popular at the time, and I thought it looked really hard, which it was, and I'm like, if it doesn't kill me, it will, you know, make me healthy. And it did, right? So I ended up losing 40 pounds, and I went back to the doctor, and he took me off of the blood pressure medication, and he said, everything's back to normal, Greg, but now you got to continue doing what you're doing. So that's when I decided to become a coach, because I wanted to start helping other people, because I knew if I could start helping other people, then I would be accountable to them. And, you know, they're accountable to me. And that means that I would never quit. Like I had quit so many gyms and other, you know, programs, Weight Watchers and things in the past. I know Samara was a Weight Watcher instructor, so sorry about that, Samara.
No, it's okay. I'm here.
Yeah, but yeah, me and my wife both had attended Weight Watchers several times and lost and then gained and lost and gained. So the good news is it has helped me maintain my health, and I haven't had to go back on blood pressure medication, and I've done very well. So you know, that has been amazing, and I have accomplished that goal. The other reason that I wanted to become a coach is because I looked into Shakeology, and have you guys looked into it yet? Like, or tried it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. It is amazing. And, you know, I'm the type of guy that likes to do research. So when I saw the price of like $130, I'm like, you know, this is crazy. So, you know, of course I went and I tried the Walmart brand and the GNC brand and, you know, everything else that I could get my hands on. And when I compared all the ingredients and you know, the amount of superfoods, and then when I tried it, and the taste was amazing compared to Slim Fast and some of the other shakes that are on the market. There was no comparison, and I'm like, okay, I have to become a coach, because I'm not going to pay $130 for it. I'm going to pay you know, $100. I'm going to get that 20% discount, 25% discount, right? And I've been drinking it ever since. And the amazing thing that I noticed, and Beachbody, you know, we're not allowed to make medical claims or anything like that, but everybody has them, right? So I noticed I stopped getting sick. I used to get, you know, every little cold that would come around every year, you know, not the flu, but like, you know, the cough and the hack and all that stuff. I would get it like every single year for 20 years, you know? And then I just stopped getting sick. I just didn't get sick for like 5-6 years. I think I got a little cold a couple of years ago, and I haven't gotten sick since. So it has just been amazing for me. And I know, you know, well, sure, it's partly due to my exercise and my nutrition, but I definitely think that Shakeology has been a big part of that. So, that was why I started coaching, was for the discount, for Shakeology, for the accountability. And I didn't realize at the time that I started that it was also a business. So it is a network marketing business. And I know you guys are probably familiar with other network marketing businesses. There's plenty of them out there, Mary Kay and others, right? Lots of others. The way that, I was a coach for a long time before I even realized what it was, I just did it to help people and keep accountable. And, my coach told me that, hey, Greg, you can increase in rank, which I thought was cool, right? By signing up coaches underneath you. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I want to increase in rank, right? So I started signing up coaches underneath me, and as well as customers were switching over to me. So any customer that buys stuff from you, you automatically get a 10% commission on it. Now, the difference between Beachbody and most other network marketing companies is, like with Mary Kay, you've got to buy the product, right? And you got to store it in your garage, and you got to have parties, and you got to try to, sell it, right? Lug it around in your car and, collect that inventory. But with Beachbody, it's not like that. It's just, people were making me their coach, right? Because I was running these support groups and these challenge groups online, and they were naturally making me their coach. They wanted me to be their coach, and they would just go to Beachbody and they'd start buying stuff. And I had no clue what they're buying, right? But I'm starting to get checks rolling in every month. And, I was getting in a couple of months, I was getting my car payment paid for. And then I was getting my house payment paid for. And I'm like, whoa, what is going on here, right? I'm having fun. I'm helping people online. And now this is like becoming a substantial business, right? So I'm like, what would happen if I actually tried to do something with this business? So that's kind of like when I started, my coach told me I could rank advance and do all these things and then start making money off of coaches that were underneath me. And I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. So started signing up coaches underneath me. And now I've built a team of over 2,000 coaches. And they're not all, my personally sponsored coaches, but it's like I signed up a guy named Brian, and then Brian signed up Samara, and then Samara signed up Margaret, right? And that's how it works. So we're all one big team, and it's not like other network marketing companies that they don't really care about the product in which they're selling. That's like a secondary thing to them. The only thing they care about is, oh, I'm going to sign up a person and I'm going to make $500 off of that person, by signing them up, right? Because they have to buy this big package or whatever, right? Beachbody's not like that. Beachbody, the most important thing is the products, right? And it's getting people results. And I never sign up a coach until they have gotten results and they do love the products and they do understand the products. And then coaching is just a natural byproduct of that. And that's kind of the way that, I've built my team over the past 9 years. And, with network marketing, it pays you every single week, right? Every single month, residual income coming in, whether you do anything or not, right? So, I could take off for a year and I'm still going to have that residual income coming in every single week. And honestly, it's not about that. People think, oh, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a personal trainer. I don't have a six-pack. That doesn't matter, right? Look at us. I've never had a six-pack, right? It's like, I just like helping people. I like motivating, giving support. That's what we do as coaches. We give support. We follow up with people. We provide groups online. You can teach, like Nancy has classes, right? She could certainly hire or become a Beachbody certified personal instructor, right? But that's totally up to you. That's not required, right? You could also sign up your business. Like, let's say Nancy signed up. She could sign up her business as a coach underneath her and offer products, right? Shakes, set up a shake bar, a Shakeology bar, right in her yoga studio. Well, anybody who buys, Shakeology, right, that money is flowing right up through her, right? Because her coach is her business now. So you're not limited in what you can do with this business. I have one of my coaches, Tom, who couldn't be on this call, but he works in a hotel he's in charge of the maintenance program for the hotel. And he signed up the hotel restaurant as a coach. Now the restaurant put Shakeology on its menu, and now it serves Shakeology everybody, right? It's like if you ever go to the MGM Las Vegas, you'll see Shakeology on their menu. And the doorman signed up that restaurant as a coach. So, it's just amazing what you can do with this business. And you can not do the business at all. Some people just sign up as a coach because they want the discount on Shakeology. They love the team environment. There are other coaches that sign up because they want to do it as a hobby, right? It's like maybe they want to occasionally refer friends to the business and make a little bit of money on the side. You can do that, right? And then the third people are like me, right? And they want to, be able to have the financial freedom to walk away from their corporate job and, do what they're passionate about, right? And that's the other thing about me is after 4 years of doing this business, I had doubled my 6-figure IT job. So when they're asking me to work nights and weekends and dangling that 3% raise in my face, I'm just like, I make that in a day with Beachbody, I don't need this job. So for the past 5 years, I have done this full time. Now it's not a full-time job, but it's given me the financial and the time freedom to do what I want to do. And that's why I was saying I've also started a texting business. So I'm doing that as well as helping people every single day with Beachbody. I still do that. I still love it. And that's kind of my story. So, that's kind of why I became a coach, why a lot of people become coaches, and, what we do and how we're different. So I'm going to turn it over to Michelle and let Michelle tell her story. It's completely different.
Well, it's different, but it's kind of the same. I think a lot of us at one point kind of all started out the same, especially if we started like years ago with P90X. I did P90X. I'm gonna share my before and after pictures. I love to share those because the financial aspect of coaching is awesome. You can do as little or as much as you want with it. But I love the accountability, which is like double for a coach. But I started out way back when, I don't know, it was like probably 2006, 2007 too. There were no coaches, or the coaching was just getting started. So I was on the message boards. There's no coaches. That wasn't even really a thing. So I was kind of on my own. And if you've done P90X, you do know it's tough and it is long and it's hard to stick with if you don't have support. But I didn't actually start out with the workout. I don't even know why I bought it. You see those infomercials on TV late at night and you eventually buy this thing after 6 months of watching it. I started with the eating first because I was like 286 pounds. And I got the workout and I put it in. I'm like, there's no way I can do that. So I just started with the eating aspect of it. And started losing weight before I jumped in with the workout. But, there was no support. And I just kind of, nobody at home was working out with me, and it was long and tedious. And I just kind of like went back to, not doing it and back to old habits of eating and stuff. And what weight I did lose, I gained back. And I've never been one to jump from like all these bad things, pills or, shakes or this, that, and the other. I've always known kind of what to do. Cut out the fast food, start eating more veggies, more, grilled lean meats, all that kind of stuff. It was just, I wasn't doing it. Somewhere along the line, I was like, I gotta get back to this. I'm tired of my clothes not fitting, having to buy bigger clothes. And there was an infomercial for P90X3. And, they were like 30 minutes a day. I'm like, 30 minutes, that intrigued me. Like, I could do 30 minutes. And I was watching it. And I'm one of those that it seriously takes. I will research something for 6 months before I buy it. So I kept looking up reviews and reading about it. And I finally took the dive and did it. And I bought it and I started doing P90X3. But then I got back on the message boards. And of course, the message boards then, there's coaches and, there's groups on the message boards and it's really active. And I don't even know who my assigned coach was, but I actually found a coach on the message boards. And she was running groups on Facebook. And I ended up getting in the group on Facebook and, our teams are running, challenge groups and, I was getting those. So I had that accountability. And then I was like, started seeing Shakeology everywhere. And my niece, actually, I didn't even know my niece was a coach, but I kept seeing on her Facebook, the shake. I'm like, what's this? Why it shake? I mean, I'm not going to spend money on the shake. And I looked it up. I'm like, $130? No way. Because I was already buying like the P90X bars they had back then, the recovery drink they had back then, energy and endurance. And I was already buying that. And I was like, I can't afford $130 for a shake. I was like, I want to eat my food besides all this, the bars I'm buying. But she kept posting and posting and posting, and I kept reading about it. And I looked it up and I researched it. And I'm like, you know what? This is actually pretty doggone good. There's a lot of good stuff in this. So I was like, I still can't afford it. And then I got to, I found out we could get 25% discount. And I'm like, I started doing numbers. I'm like, you know what? Because I still wasn't really following the eating plan. I was, but, I wasn't. I was going through Whataburger every single morning, getting 2 honey butter chicken biscuits with extra honey butter, the meal with the drink and all that. I was spending like $9-10 every morning. And I'm like, with the 25% discount, and if I cut that out and use the shake for my breakfast, I could swing this. So that's what I ended up doing. And that's why I signed up as a coach, actually, was for the discount to begin with. So I'm like, 25%, yeah, okay. That's great, I can do that. But then as a coach, even a discount coach, we get put into our coach groups. And as a team, we're running challenge groups together. I don't know if any of you, I know some of y'all are in the groups, but we run team groups. And like when new programs come out, program specific groups, and we can invite our, challengers or, our coaches, and everybody can join and do it all together. So I was getting into those. And I'm like, it was like great accountability. It helped with the support, me sticking to things. And then honestly, I don't know, it just kind of clicked that, hey, I want to do this myself. I want to run a group. So I started getting, customers under me running my own group and just, started being a working coach. But I'm going to show you my before and afters. I'm going to share my screen real quick because as a coach running groups and helping with the groups, it's like double accountability. And I could run on and on, so I'm trying to not to like make this super long, but it's double accountability because I have to be there for people in the group, which means I'm like doubly there for me because I'm like, I can't just pop in and say, post my post. I'm posting my workout. I'm posting my meals. I'm posting my Shakeology. So it's like I'm being accountable, double. And because if I wasn't, I'm going to tell you, if I wasn't a coach and I wasn't in these groups, I'm going to tell you I would not, I can almost guarantee you I wouldn't have stuck with this because like 3.5 years ago, I had like some major whammies thrown at me. And that would have been a major excuse for a lot of people just to give up. I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, if anybody knows what that is, it's thyroid problems, because let me share my screen and I'll kind of talk about that. Where's okay. Where to go? Okay, so the picture on the left, that was my before. That was the last time I weighed like 286 pounds, you guys. I could have been more than that. I don't know. I was in a size 24 stretch pants, busting out of those. And that's kind of like what clicked with me when I first started. I was like, I don't want to buy bigger pants. And then the picture on the other side is I got down to, so I lost like 126 pounds. I was 165 there, I believe. All right, so, and I was following the meal plans, when the containers, the portion fix came out, I started following that, getting great results. But then I was hit with the whammy. It was like, okay, I'm doing everything exactly how I was doing to lose this weight, but the weight started going back up. And I was slowly gaining weight. And the picture on the left is what I ended up getting back up to. And I found out I had Hashimoto's. And then I was hit with like major back problems and hip problems. I got herniated, degenerated disc in my lumbar, herniated disc that's hitting a nerve, bulging disc, arthritis, SI joint problems, osteoarthritis in my hip. I know I got some issues in my neck. Haven't had an MRI, so I'm not quite sure how advanced those are. So it's like all these things that I could have used as excuses to say, because, some doctors, when you have thyroid problems, are like, oh, weight gain's just part of it. You got to deal with it. You can't lose weight. And at first, I was like letting that eat away at me. But then I'm in my groups and I'm having to be accountable and I'm having to be there for people. So I just kept on and I'm proactive. And, I was like, I got to figure out, I know nutrition can help with this. So I kind of figured out things like cutting out gluten and dairy and all that. Following the same plans, I've done, the Ultimate Portion Fix. I've done 2B Mindset, results with both of them. They're both great. And so after I figured out the issues, the weight started going back down because, I was like, you can follow these plans and still have, health problems. And I've actually got the Hashimoto's in remission. And, my antibodies are back in the, optimal range. All my other levels are fine. So, and that's all with nutrition. The exercise is great. So the picture on the left, the right, sorry. I don't know my left from right, is what I pretty much am now. I'm maintaining at 100, I fluctuate 144, 147. And that's where I'm at right now. And so, that's like before and then like the after. All right, let me stop sharing my screen. And like I said, if I wasn't in our team groups and I wasn't coaching, I would probably be back to that very beginning because I would have gave up. I would have not had the support. I wouldn't have had, people cheering me on while I'm cheering them on, and I would have just fell back off. So that is one of my top things about being a coach. What I love, the money is great because it helps pay for things, because with my back problems, I lost my main job. I owned a business. It was very labor intensive. outside work, carrying 100-pound bags of fertilizer, all that kind of stuff. I had to give it up. So, you know, the income from this really helps, but, you know, the accountability part is freaking amazing. And I do love, you know, and like with Greg, with the Shakeology, I used to get sick every time you turn around because, you know, at one point I had kids, and then I've been raising my granddaughter since she's 4. So, you know, they bring all the germs home from school, and I used to always get sick. And ever since starting, you know, drinking Shakeology, I think the first year, I think I got like that crud that goes around every year once. But after that, I don't get the crud. I don't get the sniffles. I don't get, you know, the flu when everybody else around me has it. And I really, you know, nutrition has a part of that, but I really feel that Shakeology plays a big role in that as well. Because I was eating healthy at one point without the Shakeology, still getting sick. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell. But, you know, talking about the challenge groups, like when you come in as a coach, you know, like I said, we do run team groups. You're not just, you know, signed up and, hey, you got to go find people and go run a group all by yourself. We don't just throw you to the wolves. We do run team groups. And, you know, and I really love that because, you know, sometimes you might only have one person. And you're like, well, I don't want to run a group with just one person, you know, so you have something to fall back on until, you know, you get bigger and maybe want to run groups by yourself. But the other thing I want to talk about is a lot of people with coaching, they're like, I can't sell anything. We don't sell, you know, we share. You'll hear it a lot. You share your story. You're sharing you, like with me. I'm on Instagram. I kind of like fought getting on Instagram for a long time because I was a Facebook person, but Instagram's where it's at. But I do Instagram stories. I post things on my Instagram page. I still do it on Facebook, just not as much as I used to. And I share my daily, you know, my workouts and, you know, my Energize. I do a fun little dancey Energize Triller video usually in the mornings. And I share my meals and I share just different aspects of my journey of, you know, just different things. So it's, you're not selling, you're sharing. And people are going to, you know, they're going to ask you, what are you doing? You know, what is that you're drinking? You know, how can you eat that and lose weight? Because I have people that are like, what are you doing? Are you eating no carbs? I'm like, I eat all the carbs. I was like, I'm a carb girl. So, you know, they will get interested and that's, you know, you're sharing. And that's how you get to the inviting part, you know. Maybe you post on there, you're sharing your journey. And then when we're running a group, you post on there that we're running a group and then you invite people. But, you know, you can invite your family and friends first. Some people are more comfortable with that. And some people, they're like, my family ain't gonna have nothing to do with it and I'm not even talking to them. And that's fine too. But, you know, you share and that leads to invites. It leads to conversations, which leads to invites. So, you know, and everybody does it different. Greg does it different than, say, you know, Brian does it or Smear does it or, you know, me, I need to really dive back into it because I kind of let the business take a back seat with a lot of things going on. We've had like double cancer with my partner and PTSD and anxiety with my granddaughter I'm raising. So we've had a lot of things and I kind of let it go to the back burner. But the way I do it is different than Greg and different than, you know, everybody else. So how you do it, you'll find the best way that works for you. You may have to try different things, but it's just, you know, you try different things and find out what works. So yeah, that's my little thing in a nutshell. Did I cover everything?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Now you're gonna have to get on TikTok. That's the latest thing.
Oh my gosh, I know. I tried that and I'm like, oh.
Right, I know.
Oh gosh. So tech people over here, them, not me. Everyone on the call, you guys know I am not a tech person. So that's the first thing to know in terms of we use this word coach. And the first thing to know is because we do have this amazing team, you don't have to be an expert at any one thing. There's always somebody that can help us out. And that's a really major thing for me that really, really makes a difference. And again, all of you already kind of know my story, so I'll just say the overall very briefly and then just dive into some of the other things. I'm going to share a before picture that most of you have not seen because I have not wanted to share it and you'll see why. I've lost 70 pounds with this program. I joined in May of 2018, sorry. So this is one of the before pictures. Can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so that's not one that I don't think really ever posted for obvious reasons. So that is a before, never again picture. And as Greg mentioned, I was a former Weight Watcher seminar leader. I was actually that for 8 years, and I know some of you from those years. And what I started to see was everybody going up and down, up and down, up and down, myself included. So I was on the journey where I couldn't do that anymore because I was seeing that it wasn't working long term, and my interest was long term. Because I come from a family that's obese on both sides, diabetes on both sides, arthritis on both sides. So I was really seeing the importance of health, but you needed that for a long term. So that's the mission that I was on, looking for something long term. And I found it with Beachbody first with just looking at their the workouts. If you guys know Sean T, that's how I found Beachbody. Didn't know anything about the teams or the business. And then Brian, they mentioned Brian, he found me on a message board, and then I got connected with this amazing team who Greg is right like 10 minutes from where I grew up. So it's really, really cool. So that's one of the best parts in terms of the coaching is we have a community in our groups. Those of you that know me, you're in like my groups, but there's this very much larger, amazing group. And so that's part of the best part in terms of coaching. As an only child who was raised to not trust anybody and to live your life, you have to live it alone and only trust your family. That's truly how I was raised. That's truly how I lived my life for about the first 30 years of my life. Needless to say, that doesn't work. It's pretty lonely, and you end up in not the healthiest relationships sometimes. And so as I, grew and developed and got out of an emotionally abusive marriage and really realized I really need to figure out a different way of living in order to actually live, finding this community is so beautiful because we are individual. We get to do, be individual in whatever way works for us, but we have a community of people that we can get that support from, we can get that accountability from. And that makes such a huge difference. So what I want to share with you today is just kind of the specifics in terms of looking at some of the things around coaching. You've heard about the discount. So a lot of you are discount coaches. You get that 25% discount on your Shakeology. You've already experienced the benefits of that. Not getting sick, having more energy, just feeling better. And that's great. So that's one tier of being a coach, is having those wonderful discounts. The other tier is just the support that you have. Beachbody itself provides amazing support and training. They give us everything. We have a website that's in English, Spanish, and French. Just click a button and it changes language. We're about to open in France. It's already in French, but we're about to open in France. So we're not just right here. We're not just local. But meanwhile, they do all of that. They take care of that. My day job, it's working with people all over the world. Things can take 6 months, 8 months to get paperwork cleared before you can do anything. Beachbody takes care of all that. We don't have to worry about that. And that's one of the most beautiful things, to have Beachbody take care of all of that. And then we just get to have this fabulous website that can give us all the tools that we need. So we don't have to be an expert at all these things. Beachbody takes care of that. You as a coach, you already have that website. It's already right there. Hi, Jen. Thanks for joining us. So you as a coach already have those things in terms of the website and that support that's already there for you. Training, again, you can choose if you want to run a group, if you don't want a group. Maybe you just have a family member that would like to get some support. So you can just refer them to us, those of us who do like running groups, and then we can get them set up and get them going. But if you do, maybe you'd like to run your own group or do your own thing, we have a back office that has all of the training. You can access the videos at any time, and they're amazing. And they're not boring. They're exciting. They're interesting. So the training that's provided, it actually is something that you won't dread going to look at. And it actually it really works. And it's in regular language, and it's easily accessible, and it's all right there for you. So that is all there for you. Let's see. There's so many things, but I'll try to keep it simple. The other thing is our quarterly events. We have quarterly events that are going on all over. Some of you have been to mine. I have mine up here in upstate New York every quarter. And Greg has huge ones right there in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And so I've gone down there. I get to go. I go down there. Your last event was 600 people.
Yeah, and we're going to sell out again in April. You're coming, right?
Yes, April 18th.
Bring in all your friends.
Yes, I'm hoping they come with me. And he gets like the trainers that are actually, Jericho's coming from MM100 April 18th. He's had Carl Deichler, the head of Beachbody. So that is the team that we're a part of, the resources that we have and what we're a part of. That is what we have through having Greg. So him and his team run the meetings down there. So that's just, again, an opportunity to plug in, meet other people, feel supported, and have just a great time getting healthy. It's also a great way if you know people in that area or in those events, that they can go there. And again, you don't have to feel like, okay, I'm a coach and the pressure is all on me. There's a ton of us that enjoy doing this and are happy to get them going and get them started. So that's another one. And then of course, once a year annually, they have what we call the summit. And that's going to be in New Orleans this year in July. But again, that's full of training. So you're getting training directly from the top leaders. And again, the trainers that you work out on Beachbody On Demand, they're right there. They're doing the classes live. So you have, again, that opportunity to have that support. Life is always going to throw us. I don't know about you, but I know 2019 kicked my butt. It was just one horrible thing after another. But I was still able to lose and maintain because of the team, because of the support that we have. One of the major things that coaching helped me with, I did lose my half brother, and it'll be a year, February 17th. Unexpectedly in a truck accident. And if I didn't have the team, if I didn't have the support, and if I didn't have the finances, I have no idea how I would have been able to leave and go to Ohio to be with my family unexpectedly, right after I had just come back from LA because my mom lost her best friend. I wouldn't have had, I didn't have time at my job. I didn't have vacation and those things. I was part-time at that time at that job. And it just, without the money that I happened to have from Beachbody, I don't know, I would not have been able to go to either of those funerals to be with my family. So there are some things that we can know about, that having extra income while we're helping people get healthy. But there's a lot of things that we don't know that's coming our way. And I think with the times, there's just we just don't know. So it's just great because if you're already a customer or you're already participating in this in any way, just being a coach, it's worth it because you don't know what's coming down the pike. And you're going to inspire people because you're going to get results. You just are. And somebody's going to ask. And then if you're already set up as a coach, then it's already in alignment. You're already ready to go for all of the things that we don't know. So we can answer questions. We can go on and on and on. But it has really changed my life. And just being able to help other people get healthy, there's just nothing like that. Nothing like it. And we're not going to do anything but continue to grow. We've been around since 1990. We've been around how long, Greg?
A long time. The network, the coaching network since 2007, but Beachbody's been around since way before that. Yeah.
You're not going anywhere, so.
Yeah. I just want to say, like you said, you talked about the countries. So we are in US, Canada, and the UK currently. And like Tamara said, we're expanding into France, right? In April, May, sometime this year. But then Beachbody has a plan to keep expanding. So a lot of companies, a lot of network marketing companies, like they're already in the whole world, right? I mean, they've been around a lot longer, or they have products that are, like the nail jamboree people, right? I mean, they could easily launch that to the whole world, where we have like really complex products like Shakeology, which has 70 superfoods that have to each be approved by every country's, Food and Drug Administration and stuff like that. So, it's taken us a lot longer to expand, but the good news is it's like, just think how small we are, and how much we still have to grow as a company, right? And getting in now is a great opportunity. So, and then like trainings, she talked about, like we do trainings together as a team, like this we're doing together, right? It's like, you don't have to, know how to talk to people about coaching, because we host these calls on a regular basis and you can invite people to these calls. So it's like, you never have to do it alone, so I know a lot of people find that as an excuse, like, oh, I can't do that. I can't run groups on my own, right? Well, your upline, Samara, would be happy to, run in groups with you, or you can join our groups like Michelle talked about, or we do team calls every single week, multiple team calls if you want to join those. I mean, we do one call with our upline coaches, some of our founding coaches, where we have an amazing team that talks about different topics. And then there's accountability calls and things like that. So I just want to reiterate that you guys are never alone in this. You have mentors, you have upline coaches, and we're always there for you guys.
Does anybody have questions?
Yeah,
sure. See if anybody has questions.
Does anybody have any questions?
Samara, did you mention that there are coaching videos that we have access to?
Yeah, so I'll share my screen. Maybe Greg would probably be faster. But I pulled it up just in case.
Yeah, you can share it if you want. Go ahead.
If it works here. This is the website that you have as a coach. So here, where it says coach, you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So where it says coach and you go coach office. Oh, Peg, this is also where I wanted to show you, if you decide to buy your bars or anything again, shop.
Oh, okay.
Log in and it's all right here. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Coach, yep. And then coach office. So everything again, that $15.95 that you see each month, that's what this is for.
Oh, okay.
So it's low. Oh, sorry, I have to log in.
Right, and that's a good point that we should mention is, like, people ask, what is required to be a coach? The only thing that is required is that you pay a $15.95 a month to be a coach, unless you're a veteran or you have an active military spouse or active military yourself, then it's free. But other than that, I mean, all that's required is the $15.95, and that gives you the discount and the coach online office and the website and your own email and all that stuff that Samara's showing you.
See that training here?
Oh, yeah.
And there's a training library. Wow. So the compensation, like everything is so beautifully laid out. Yep. And then you just push play. And again, they're all really, really good. They're nothing's boring.
Right.
They're.
And for me, I mean, I've been able to make over $1 million in this business. So if you think about it in that way, I mean, there's no commitment whatsoever. For $15 a month, you can open a multi-million-dollar business. I mean, it's like, think of what it would cost you to buy a franchise, right? And how much money that would cost you and what a commitment that would require. Yeah, I mean, I have a friend that I met recently, and he bought a franchise, and he had to do a 3-year commitment, and he had to take out a loan for $300,000. He had to buy a car. He had to, for a year, lease a car. He had to buy office space. He was required to buy office space for a year commitment, and he just went out of business because he wasn't making enough money to cover all of these expenses, and that's why it just blows me away. $15.95, literally you can do nothing and you're still making out like a bandit with coaching with, all the other benefits that Samara talked about.
I have my own business and it Focus Forward, and I spent $4,000 for a website that nobody is seeing. It's not hitting people. They told me it would hit people as they're going down the road or whatever this tech stuff is. And it gets no hits, zero, unless I send a link to somebody. That was $4,000.
That's what it is. You have to pay Google and then
right.
will see it. Yes.
Right. I think that was $200 when I researched that.
Yeah.
So if you are a small business owner or small business owners, they will definitely get it, I think, right away. Because, Beachbody, that's the beauty of network marketing. They do all that stuff and we get to do the people part, we get to do this part.
Right. And like Nancy, I know you mentioned like you're already a coach and your business development and other types of personal development, right? Coaching that you do. That's perfect for this business because you can just weave that in to what you're already doing, and just add in coaching. It's like I meet a lot of personal trainers or gym owners, and they're like, oh, I don't need Beachbody. But I'm like, well, okay, you may have, people may come to see you once or a couple times a week, right? Well, what are they doing the rest of the time? Do you have meal plans that are laid out for them? And, things like containers and recipes, do you have all that with your gym? And do you have a line of supplements that you can make money on? Probably not. It's like Beachbody has all of that. They've got the whole performance line. They've got the proteins and the protein powders in addition to Shakeology. So, I mean, there's just so much that you can integrate into what you already have, right? So.
Any other questions concerns? And I just want to, I know many of you are very proactive in your communities and helping people. So I just want to reiterate, this has a nonprofit element to it. I definitely plan on doing it for my cat work within the next year. So she was going to be on tonight, but she got really sick. She doesn't have Shakeology. But again, just to know that they have something set up for nonprofits that they can be a coach. And I know that a lot of you do a lot of work out there. And so you give once, but that idea of the residual income, I think powerful things to be created with this business structure and helping communities as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for attending the call, hopping on. And if you do have any questions for me, feel free to, message through your coach or Samara, whoever invited you, or anybody else on the call, Michelle or anybody. We're happy to get back to you with whatever you want to know, whatever we didn't cover. All right.
Sounds good.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.